Hey yo, what's good, y'all? Yo Nerd is back, and you already know I'm Justice the Genius Child, and this is Keeping Up with Miles. Hey yo, before we get started, let's do a little recap. So Miles was going through his little clone saga. You know, they put Miles through a clone saga, he had to go through all that. He even went to another dimension and had to find his uncle in another dimension he was being held hostage by one of his other clones. He even meets another version of Genki, even meets another version of his little sister all grown up. All that is cool. But he had to make his way back here too now. And this right here, y'all, we are starting a whole new run of Miles. New creative team, so new art, new writer, new everything, bruh. And I am excited for this new run, so let's jump right into it. Miles Morales Spider-Man #1. And this run is called Trial by Spider. So when we begin, we come back to the beginning, and I love this. I love that they show Miles talking in his journal. It's kind of really his outlet and something he can go to and be comfortable, you feel me? So he starts talking about all the things that he's been through to get him up to here, you feel me? And he talking about he has his family as his support system, you feel me? And in the pages, we start to see a new character called Raneem, and we start to see her and see what's going on with her, and also while we see her, we still have Miles talking in his journal, talking about the power of kindness, basically talking about the people around him, how they've shown kindness, you feel me? And so then things start going crazy as always, because it's a comic book. It's not a comic book until things start going crazy and some villain just randomly pops up doing some villain stuff, you feel me? So here we have Scorpion out, and bruh, the art in this comic is phenomenal. It is great. We have Scorpion out doing Scorpion-like things, messing with the cops and everything, right? And we see right here, Raneem, the new character that just popped in, is ready to get hit by a car until she is saved by Miles. Yeah, she is saved by Miles, and this is dope. Miles gets a little licking on Scorpion real quick, you feel me? And then swings off with Raneem. Alright, so now he done saved her. Now he gets to tussling, with Scorpion. Starts hitting him with the webs and everything, getting the best of him. And Scorpion, basically says something right here. Was the real Spider-Man too busy? That's why you sent to Junior League, you feel me? And people like to underestimate Miles, but Miles is top dog, and he will show it in this comic, you feel me? So we go back to it. They continue to fight. Scorpion's starting to get the best of Miles right here, you feel me? And then what Miles does? The Venom Blast. And right here, how they drew this up was dope to me. That was really dope. So Miles gets the upper hand, you feel me? And then so he continues to go at him, using his webs and wrapping them all up in the webs, and then he just slams Scorpion. Right here, just slams Scorpion, all jump, right? Basically has won against Scorpion, but then comes the PDNY, you feel me? And they come in, they basically saying, right, that you're in violation of the Powers Act, right? And that's basically the Superhuman Registration Act and all that, you feel me? So they're basically saying they're going to take Scorpion in, and that basically telling Miles that he doesn't really want to mess with them, you feel me? So, but then Miles comes back at her right here, and you see what he says. Oh, I've heard about you guys. Cracking schools and pushing around folks for looking after their own streets. Heard ones where folks living there who look like me get it the worst. That about right? And then basically, I have no clue what you look like under there, but she can guess. And then so basically saying, yo, keep that same energy when you're not in Brooklyn. And this is really dope. I think this is also, when you talk about writing teams or creative teams on characters, when throughout this comic, Miles actually sounds like a black kid. Alright, like actually a black kid. Oh, well, let's not forget that Miles is half black, half Hispanic. But Miles sounds like a black kid, and it sounds authentic. And that's what I think misses sometimes in comics. Like they just be writing these characters and they don't even sound authentic. Like they don't even, when you read it, you can't even read in a little black kid's voice because it feels like some old white man is actually really writing this, you feel me? But I think they really capture Miles in this comic. But let's get back into it. So, she's basically going to all the things that Miles did, basically saying that it would have been better if they just let Scorpion rob the bank. If they just let Scorpion rob the bank, it would have been cheaper, you feel me? And then so she basically just getting on Miles' case. So Miles swings off, right? Miles back to doing his normal stuff. He has to go to school, you feel me? Because Miles, we can't forget that Miles is still a kid, kind of. He's still in school and everything. So basically Genki's getting on him, telling him that he's late, and then basically saying like, you know, they can't be late, but Miles is like, bro, like, what am I supposed to do? People were in help us. People need help, so I had to go help them, you feel me? And then so basically it's hard for Miles to juggle, you know, school life and hero life, you feel me? So then they go into class, and this part, bro, man, this part. They go into class, and his teacher starts, who's a black teacher, starts reaming him out, bro. And you know, man, I'm just be honest, you know, when you got them old black dudes, they see a young black kid, they really give you the work. They give you the hardest time ever. Yeah, they do it's that tough love shit, but they be going in on you. And he basically tells Miles here, like, you know, he should be grateful that he is where he is. He's saying kids would kill to be in his position, you feel me? And then so Miles basically claps back. Miles done had enough. Miles done been through it. Miles got a black eye from fighting the Scorpion, you feel me? Miles done went through all this stuff with the clones. Miles juggling Spider-Man life, school life, all this stuff. So Miles basically claps back at him right here, which leads to Miles getting suspended. In my opinion, that wasn't called for. But you know, this guy trying to prove a point. You feel me? So he suspends Miles, right? So then he's like, you can tell your parents and all that. So Miles leaves the class and he gets hit up by Starling, Tiana, right? That's basically his boo thing, you feel me? So she's like, we good or no, right? Right, and he says right here, he's thinking to himself, just tell her what you're going through, man. Starling can handle it. No, it's probably best to talk in person. And then so he basically tells her, yeah, he's just going through it, and says he'll hit her up later, he needs a breather. And so he basically says he needs to clear his head. You know what if you're Spider-Man, you're going to need to clear your head. What are you going to do? Go for a little swim. So he basically goes for a little swim before his parents find out, you know, he's talking to his journal again. And then so his parents hit him up, and this is a great part. This is a really great part. This kind of reminds me of the Static comic that came out season 1. So basically his parents call him, basically you got suspended, and they're like, you got a black eye. And he just basically, you know, unloads. He basically saying, you know, like, feels like he's losing himself. It's getting hard for him to juggle the Spider-Man stuff, school, relationships. He's like, it's like I'm getting buried by everything, and I'm scrambling just to stay afloat, right? And I think we all can relate to that. You know, life sometimes can just really pile it on, you feel me? It can be pressure. And so not even being a superhero. Think about dealing with life and being a superhero. That's crazy what Miles is going through. But he's unloading right now. And he's like, I just want to do good. I just want to be good. But I feel like I'm getting resistance from every angle. And his parents, yo, they was real cool. They was basically going in. They was basically like, bruh, it's okay, Miles. He's like, they basically like, you know, you're going through things, right? And then so they're like, basically tell him that they love him, that they know he's leading a double life, but that they're here for him, and that they think he just needs to, you know, focus on the important things. Basically bring himself back in, reel himself back in, you feel me? And they basically real cool, and they tell him don't rush, you know, take it moment by moment. And they're like, you grounded, you definitely grounded, but you know, take your time coming back. And he says he's just gonna go for a little swing. They say I love yous, and that was a real dope family moment. I think that was a real dope thing to see and add into Miles' story, because his family is a big part of his story, you feel me? They are a real huge part of the story. So adding that little part in, you know, him unloading, him being vulnerable, him saying like, bruh, this is a lot, and then seeing a superhero go through this, that's pretty dope. Something we can relate to these superpower beings who are kind of like gods, you feel me? But we continue on. So Spider-Man gets to swing, and he sees Bumbler. Now, Bumbler actually made his very first appearance in Miles Comics, in Miles number 25. Back, it was like a little small story back in the Clone Saga. It was after like the main story. It was like a little story at the back end of it where Bumbler's in, and he gets a little upgrade here, which is pretty dope. So he's a Miles base character, which is cool that they brought him in there. You feel me? So basically, Miles basically says that he likes Bumbler's upgrade because he done got an upgrade to his suit, right? And so they get to tussling, right? And so Miles basically is gonna take this man out until he tries to hit Miles with the honey punch. It was kind of like his venom punch. It's like venom blast, but it's like the honey punch. I think that's pretty funny. Bumbler is a pretty funny character. He kind of reminds me of like a Firefly or like Kite Man type of from Batman. You feel me? So basically they're fighting, and then hits him with the honey punch, and then he basically says, "Holy shit, she wasn't lying about them upgrades. Who is she?" Mystery. So basically, so Miles gets up, and then Miles is basically done. Miles is mad. Miles is livid. Miles goes in on this guy. You gotta remember, Miles is going through it right now. So he basically unloading on this guy. Miles' whole bad day is getting taken out on this guy's face. Yes, it is. So he's punishing this guy. This guy's kind of saying, "I'm sorry," trying to give up, but Miles is like, "No, you gonna take these hands." You feel me? But Miles snaps out of it. Miles snaps right out of it. He's like, man, you know, Miles figures that he's going crazy. So Miles basically wraps the guy up so that the people can take him in, and Miles leaves. And he's like, "Yo, you were wilding back there. Miles could have killed that guy. You really gotta find yourself and lock whatever the hell this is down." You feel me? Basically, to bring himself in, he needs to focus, and that's what he does. He brings himself in, he focuses, he basically sits on the edge of this building, just thinking to himself, trying to bring himself in. And he starts to think about Peter Parker, and you know, with great power comes great responsibility, and that kind of brings him back home in a way, which is pretty cool. But now, he swings off. And we're coming to the end of this comic, and we see Renee, the girl that he had saved earlier, and basically she's talking. Some people don't know how good they got it. She's like, "Some of us were born with next to nothing, and yet society still saw fit to take what little we had, and they don't understand that not everyone can win the lottery of life," right? And then so you basically see her spying on Miles basically, right? And she's basically saying she's gonna take out Miles. Like, okay, this is a brand new villain came in, and she's basically been looking at Miles for a minute now, you feel me? And then is this the she that Bumbler was talking about with the upgrades? Is this the she? You feel me? But this is a whole new character, a whole new villain just for Miles. And you know me, I've been saying they need to make this more Miles oriented. Not like recycle Spider-Man stories, but more Miles oriented, right? And so I love this. You see Bumbler that came back, you know, he's talking to Starling. You see all these characters that are within Miles' lore. They're in Miles' world. And then everybody got their shot, and it was brought to light in this comic. This comic was a great #1, especially if you're catching up to Miles now. If you want to jump on to Miles now, you can easily jump onto this. Like, you got a brand new villain, you got appearance from an old Spider-Man villain, you know, to bring it kind of home and everything. But this comic was excellent. It was well written. It was deep into Miles. You really got personal with him. You feel me? You even saw him like use his powers. You know, everything was dope with this comic, and this is what I like, that it's bringing it home, bringing it to Miles Morales. It's not like a recycled Peter Parker story. No, this is Miles' story, and I think this new creative team is killing it, especially with this #1. So that is Miles Morales #1, a part of this new run, and I'm excited to go through this with y'all. We got a new villain that's out to get Miles. We got, you know, Miles dealing with everything, dealing with school, dealing with being a superhero, dealing with relationships, dealing with his family. So I like this, bro. This is, I think, I'm gonna say this now, I think this is gonna be one of those classic stories for Miles Morales. Like, when you think of like Batman, how you think about like the Long Halloween, or like the Killing Joke, you feel me? When you think of stuff like that, I think this will be the story you think of when you think of Miles Morales. And that's my opinion, y'all. But this has been Keeping Up with Miles. You already know I'm back with #2. I'm gonna come back with #2, so be on the lookout for that. And please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram @YoANerd. I'm also on Twitter @YoANerd, and TikTok and Facebook. So follow me on all those. And you already know, tell your friends about me. But thank y'all for watching. Yo Nerd, keep it on Miles.